Alrighty, we are live. Can you guys drop any emojis or anything into the chat so I know that you can hear me? This is actually my first time doing a live on YouTube, so I just want to make sure that you can hear while I'm talking. I see that we have 26 people, so that's very exciting. Okay, so we're going to wait for more people to trickle in before I kind of get into the bulk of everything. It is now 4 o'clock. Alrighty. I want to know where you guys are from. I am currently in Mammoth, California. If you can't tell, I'm sitting in an RV right now. My boyfriend and I live and travel in this full time. We've been doing it for the past, I guess, since August. And we actually just moved it today into Yosemite National Park in California. So that is where I'm taking this call from. Let's see here. Can you guys hear me okay? I wonder if you're able to use the chat. Reactions. Okay. I think so. My microphone's working. Okay. You can hear me. I see a thumbs up. Yes. Is that a yes? Okay. That's what we're going to go with. I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes. 42 people. You guys, this is so exciting. I have been doing UGC for like 6 years now, and I don't know why I didn't open up about it on social media, but I did recently in the last year, and I've been getting so much feedback from you guys about it. You want to learn so much more about it, so I figured why not put together a live training and teach you how I'm able to do this, because if I can do it, you can do it. Anybody can do it, really. It just depends on if you want to turn it full-time, part-time, kind of wherever you're at. Really just comes down to the skills and learning all of it. So, alrighty, it is 4:02. I'm going to get started. This call will be recorded, and I will be sharing the link with you to your email and also in our Slack channel. If you're not in our Slack channel, please send me an email at hello@itssocialg.com so we can get you into it. I know 1,000 people signed up for this, and 247 people were in the Slack channel. So I know there's a few that haven't made it, but here we go. We're going to get into it. So basically, today's call is basically the UGC kickoff, and we're going to talk about your portfolio and how to kind of get things rolling as a UGC creator in the beginning. So if you're not familiar with who I am, if you just saw me on the ads I'm running on social media, if you just saw my TikTok, my Instagram, whatever, my name is Gianna. I am 29 years old. Like I said, I've been doing UGC for 6 years now. In 2025, I made $184,000 from UGC alone. And then this year, I'm already at about $70,000 of UGC income. And we're halfway through 2026 almost. And that's just actually insane to even say. So this is my actual life. UGC is my full-time income. I do it every day. I am very much in the trenches of it. And I truly, truly love content creation. I've worked with over 1,000 brands, including like Dove, Dr. Squatch, Calm & Co, On Cloud, and so many more. I have to go back in my list and look at all of them. But in this last year, I've helped over 100 creators land their first paid brand deal. Some of them now do it full time. Some of them quit their 9-to-5s. Some of them are doing things that they never thought were possible. And that really just depends on, like I said, if you want to turn this into full-time or if you just want to have a fun side hustle. So let me show you what this actually looks like, because I don't want you to just hear numbers. I want you to actually see the work. So I'm going to share my portfolio with you really quick. I'm going to be sharing my portfolio back and forth with you through this call. So I kind of wanted to just show you what my portfolio looks like. Now, keep in mind, I've been doing this a while. Your portfolio does not have to look like mine in the very beginning. So that is something to keep in mind. I don't want you to get feel like you need to have all of these collabs or anything. So let me just see if I can share this with you. Okay. Alrighty. So this is my portfolio. This has been a work in progress for years. As you can see here, it is just a little bit about me. My name, UGC creator and viral video specialist. I have all the links to my social media on here. You do not have to have a social media presence to be a UGC creator. However, if you do post on social media, it does give you leverage because brands find you, and that means like inbound work. You get inbound work from brands. For me, for example, I post on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Instagram, and I have my email in my bio everywhere, and brands come to me. And so that is work that I don't really have to do to find them because they find me. So that is why a portfolio and putting your social media links on here is really helpful, especially if you are going to be utilizing social media as a point to find brands to work with. The second page here is just like why work with me, some stats of videos that I've done, just to kind of show that you're able to provide the brands with successful outcomes, because brands are looking for creators who are able to sell their product, right, through a video. So I just have some stats here. Again, if you're just starting out and you don't have these stats, that's completely fine. It's all a work in progress and you'll build from there. So moving on, we have previous clients. These are just to name a few. I put the logos in here. This whole thing is made on Canva. I'll go over that too. But just like some feedback, testimonials. This is just going to be a brief skim because I'm going to be referring back to it too. And then example videos here. Like I said, I'll come back to this. And what do we have? We also have photography, more examples, more photography, some winning analytics these are from my social media, not from brand social media. And then I have the services that I provide, and then how you can contact me, like let's work together page. I also have my email, my social medias, and a media kit link. So let's see. All right. Going back here. So a little bit about my story. A few years ago, I was working a 9-to-5. I was completely burning myself out, barely making enough to get by. I was literally counting down the hours every single day, just waiting for it to be over so I can go home and just relax and just do what I wanted to do. But I was so tired, I didn't have any energy left. Excuse me. But I knew that was not the life that I wanted. I knew that I wanted more. I wanted freedom. I wanted flexibility. I wanted to be able to actually live my life. And my boyfriend at the time was doing travel nursing assignments, and I just wanted to be able to go with him. I didn't want to stay behind because of a job that was completely draining me. I wanted to be free, basically. And I kept hearing about this thing called UGC on social media. I had absolutely no idea what it was. It was all over TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. All these people were talking about it. I would scroll past it and just keep asking myself, what does that even mean? So if you're at that place right now, that's completely fine. But one day I decided to make the decision and I quit my job, right? I know that might sound crazy, but I did have my boyfriend supporting me, which was amazing. I'm super grateful for that. But I went all in on it. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I was so determined to learn about it. And I took people's courses. I watched YouTube videos, TikTok videos, like I said, everything about UGC just to learn. I built my portfolio from scratch. I didn't know what I was doing. I went into Canva. I had a free Canva account at the time. I have Canva Pro now, but you can start it with Canva completely for free. You don't have to pay for the pro version. But it was bad. My portfolio was really, really bad in the beginning. I will be honest. And I started reaching out to brands, and I was honestly terrified. I didn't have pitch scripts. I didn't really have a direction. I was like, who am I to be doing this? Right. It was kind of like an imposter syndrome feeling that I had. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to push through. I'm going to learn this. Right. And I'm going to figure it out. So since then, I mentioned this earlier, I've worked with over 1,000 brands. If I had to sit down and actually take the time to think about how many I've worked with, it's probably even more than that. But I've made well over $500,000 in UGC since I've started. I've 5x'd my 9-to-5 salary. I work on my terms. I work on my schedule, and I work from wherever I want to be. And if you guys are just joining now and you don't know where I am right now or my story, I live in an RV. And I didn't really know how that would go, but it's been going well. But yeah, I live in this RV, travel with my boyfriend full time, and we're currently in Yosemite National Park. And that's where I'm taking this call from. So super grateful for the flexibility that user-generated content creation has given me. But honestly, the best part of all of this is that in the last year, I started helping other people do this exact same thing. Watching them transform their lives the way that I transformed mine. And that hits way different because that's real, watching real people transform that is like a huge motivating factor for me. So that's really cool to see. But that is why this challenge exists, right? Because if I can do this coming from someone who had a 9-to-5 with no clue what UGC even was, then there's literally no reason that you can't. So I'm going to pause for a second, and I want to ask you guys, are you able to type in this chat? Because if you are, please drop any questions or anything that you do have, because at the end of this call, I am going to be answering them. So let me know if you do have any. Let me just look through this timeline. Okay. So let me walk you through what the next 12 days will look like, because I want you to know exactly what you signed up for, right? We've got 4 live calls in total. One of them's tonight, one of them's Thursday, one of them is next Monday, and the big one is on Friday, June 12th. And then in between every call, you're getting daily emails with action steps. So you're literally never going to wonder, like, what do I do today? I've got you. Don't worry. Everything's all laid out. The challenge is broken into 3 different phases. So I'm going to take the time to walk you through each one. Okay. So phase 1 is your portfolio. That's where we're at right now. That's going to be days 1, 2, and 3. We're going to be focusing on that. I'm teaching you the 4-pillar framework that makes a portfolio brand ready. Not just look pretty, but bookable for brands to be like, 1000% yes, I'm picking this creator and we're doing the thing, right? Tomorrow's email, I'm going to be walking you through how to film your pieces, like lighting, setup, sound, the whole thing, step by step. We can also talk about that a little bit tonight as well, too. So you kind of know what to film and what needs to go in your portfolio. Wednesday's email, we're building your brand list. So by the time we get to pitching, you actually already know like who you want to reach out to. So you have a list and you're not kind of guessing. So kind of keep that in your mind. Some of you might already have an idea of who you want to reach out to brand-wise or niche-wise. So just, like I said, keep that in your mind as something to think about. So moving on to, we have phase 2. This is going to be your pitch. The pitch is huge. The pitch is almost like a make or break thing, not entirely, but you'll start to learn the importance of pitching. That's going to be days 4 through 7. And that is going to be where it gets really juicy, because you'll start to understand what you need to say and what you don't need to say to brands, and how to get them to actually open your email or DM, take the time to look at it, and move forward with you as a creator if they want to book you or not. So Thursday's call is going to be my pitch framework plus the exact templates that I use. For you can use them as plug and play. I don't want you to copy them exactly, but you can take the template and you can like turn it into your own voice and put your own spin on it, right? Friday's email, we're going to send your first 3 to 10 to 13 pitches, depending on how comfortable you are at that time. It's an action sprint, so no overthinking. We just want you to start getting comfortable with reaching out to brands and sending those pitches. If you saw how many pitches that I sent, I think you'd think I'm probably crazy, but I utilize the Bento platform. And if you're not familiar with what Bento is, it is basically a pitching platform. Like, they have probably thousands of brand contacts in there that you can set up campaigns for, email campaigns for. You can connect it to your Gmail account, which is really cool. And you can set up a campaign for like skincare or for supplements, write out a pitch in there, and then send it to like 200 brands at a time in like a 2-week span. It sets it up so that you're not spamming, like so that your Gmail doesn't look like it's spam because you're sending too many at once. But yeah, it is so great. It has so many brand contacts in there that honestly I haven't even heard of. So you set up the campaigns and you just send them out. But we're going to start small. We're going to start with like 3 to 13. And then if you want to send more, that's great. But that's where we're starting from. So Saturday and Sunday is going to be the halfway catch-up emails and community spotlights to keep you moving. To kind of like check in, see where you're at, and keep you moving along this process in the next 2 weeks. So that is phase 2. Then phase 3 is pricing and graduation. That's going to be days 8 through 12. So the day 8 live, there's 2 things in one call. It's going to be pricing and rate negotiation. So we're going to go over what to charge, how to defend it, no more undercharging. That's a huge thing that happens in UGC. I see that a lot. Plus, I'm also going to be doing live pitch reviews if I can figure out how to get this chat working. But I also might ask you guys to send me your pitches in either email or in our Slack channel, and then I will go over them in the call that way. So we'll just see how that goes. But I would like to look over some of the pitches that you do put together and give you feedback on that as well. So yeah, you'll submit your pitches on day 7, and then I'll be looking at them and helping you go through those as well so we can get you paid as a creator. Then we're going to go through days 9, 10, 11 with follow-up templates for when brands ghost you, and you will start, like, the more you get into UGC, whether you do this part-time or full-time, you will start to see the nuances of it. Like, brands will ghost you. It happens. Everyone's busy. Life is life, right? So follow up. Like, it's normal. I think I have, with Bento, you can put follow-ups in there. I think I have my campaign set up as like 1 email and then 2 follow-ups. Like, that's the standard that I do for everything, because I know that brands just won't usually respond at the first one. So I will send 1 and then another one, and then usually they'll get a response. But again, not everyone will respond to you, and that's, like I said, completely normal. It doesn't reflect you as a creator. It's just how the nature of UGC goes. So then on day 12 is going to be graduation call. It's going to be 90 minutes. I'm going to share something on that call that I think all of you are going to want to hear, but I'm not going to spoil it now. But more on that when we get closer to it. But for now, all 4 live calls are at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Put them in your calendar right now. There's 4 of them. If you can't make it, that's fine. The video links from these videos will be shared with you so you can watch it afterwards in the Slack or in your email. That's where I'll be sending them. So what you will accomplish by day 12. I want to go over that so you have an idea. I want to paint you a picture of what you're going to have at the end of these 12 days. Not what you'll know, but what you'll tangibly have, right? The first one being a brand ready portfolio, at least 4 to 6 pieces of content, all built by using this framework. You'll have something that you can actually send to brands and be proud of to send to those brands. Number 2 is a target list of 100 brands that you actually want to work with. Done. Like you'll have it either written down or in a spreadsheet. You'll have it all ready to go. The third one is sending your first 3 to 13 pitches to real brands. Like actually sent it out in your email or your DM. Not like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow, right? Like, no, we're sending them to the brands. Okay, that's how we're going to get our foot in the door. So that's what we're doing. And I also want to review the pitches before you send them to the brands. So we're going to be going over that as well. The thing, a rate sheet that you can pull up the second that a brand asks, what are your rates? No more freezing, no more underpricing. We're getting paid what we're worth here as creators based on our experience. So that's the 4th thing that we're going to have figured out. The 5th thing is a plug and play follow-up template for when brands ghost you, because it will happen. And you're going to know exactly what to send to them when that happens. The 6th thing, and this one is a big one, the confidence to do this on repeat, because you're building a system. You're not building a one-time thing. I mean, if you try it and you decide it's not, like, if you don't like it, that's fine. But if you decide that you do want to go all in on this, confidence is huge. And there's going to be moments where you're going to be like, I don't know, I don't really feel the most confident. That's fine. That's normal. But repetition is going to help you so much, because that is the nature of the business. Because it is a business that you're building. That is entirely what we're building here. From 1 to 6, that's what we're going to be working on. If that's what you came here for, I am very excited for you. I'm very proud of you for showing up and being here and sitting through a live call instead of scrolling on TikTok or watching a Netflix show. But this is a very cool experience, so I'm very happy that you're here. But that's what you'll walk away with in 12 days. So moving on to what you get from tonight's call. So we just talked about the next 12 days. Now I want to zoom in on this 1 hour, because tonight is the foundation of it all. So you're going to walk out with 4 things specifically tonight. One of them is a clear understanding of what brands actually look for in a UGC portfolio and why most creators get this wrong, right? The second one is my 4-pillar framework. So this is the exact structure that makes your portfolio bookable and not just pretty, because there's a difference there. Like, it can look completely beautiful and aesthetic, but if it doesn't have the things that a brand is looking for, they're not even gonna consider you. The third one is a specific plan for the 4 portfolio pieces that you're filming this week. Like, you're gonna leave this call knowing exactly what's on your shot list. So that's gonna be really helpful. 4 is the confidence to stop overthinking your content and actually start creating content. And because that is what we need. That is like the base framework of this. So I want to also talk about why right now for UGC, right? Like, why is UGC such a big thing? I want you to understand why this is genuinely the best time to be a UGC creator, because some of you guys, I'm sure, came in here thinking, am I too late? Is it too saturated? Did I miss the wave? I want to just cut that right now with these three things, these three facts. So number one is that 88% of consumers trust user-generated content in 2026. 88%. That is huge, right? That is up 84% from last year. So trust is going up, not down. This is the wild one, though. 67% of consumers say that peer video reviews are the number one most trusted format of content online, period. So that's not, excuse me, I have a cup. I almost spilled my water. That's not influencer content. That's not celebrity ads. That's you. That's people like you talking about products that you already use. That's really telling. So the translation of that is real people watching real people equals trust. Okay? Does that make sense? And that's why that brands need you right now, the creators. So that is number one. That is already a huge reason to invest your time in UGC. But number two is that US brands are going to spend $44 billion on creator partnerships this year. That's nearly double what they spent in 2024. And creator ad spend is growing 4 times faster than every other media channel. Meanwhile, 60% of brand leaders are cutting print spend. 50% are cutting linear TV. And all of that money is flowing straight to creators like you. So that money is moving. You just have to know how to catch it. And number three, the average UGC video right now pays around $200. And I know some of you just heard that and are like, wait, that's it? Like, hold on, that's a little bit low, right? The number is low because most creators are leaving money on the table, like massive amounts of money on the table. New creators are charging $150 to $300. Experienced creators are charging $500 to $1,200. And top creators are charging around $2,000 and up per video. But the gap between the average and the top is not talent. It's pricing and pitching. And that's literally what we're fixing on day 4 and day 8. So here's what I need you to take from this. Brands need you more than you need them. Yeah, they do. That is a true statement. So we're going to stop acting like we're begging for scraps. You're a creator. You bring real value. Each person is different. Each person is unique. And brands pay for your value, period. So we want to make sure that we are providing that value in our content and when we reach out to them. So that is a huge thing. I want to go over the number one mistake that creators make. So this is something that I need you to hear. The thing is that I cannot speak words. The thing that is literally keeping creators broke is this. You build a portfolio for yourself and not for the brand. That is not what we want to do. We don't want to just build a portfolio for us because we're not hiring ourselves. The brand is hiring us. So we need to build a portfolio and build our content around what would benefit them. So let me explain what I mean by that. You film the kind of content that you like. You pick the products that you personally use, right? You post stuff that you think looks cool. And then you wonder why no one's booking you. Here's the thing. Brands are not looking at your portfolio going, wow, she's so artistic. They're not looking at you going, oh, look at her aesthetic, right? They're looking at your portfolio and asking one question. Can she sell, or can he or she sell my product? That's it. That is the whole thing. Can you sell it? And if your portfolio doesn't answer that question with a yes, even if your portfolio is beautiful, you don't get booked. So that is why so many talented creators are stuck, not because they're not good, but because they're filming for the wrong audience. The framework, the 4 pillars that I'm going to teach you completely flips that. And we're going to build a portfolio that makes brands look at it and go, I need this person on my next campaign. So the 4-pillar framework that I mentioned is, we're going to get into that right now. I don't see any messages in the chat, so I don't know if the chat's working. Let me know you guys, if this chat is not working, let me know in the Slack channel if it's not working. I am still learning YouTube live streaming, so bear with me on that. I do want to answer some of your questions, though. So if you have any questions, do drop them into the Slack channel if you're in it, if you can't access this live chat here. But let's go into the 4 pillars. So pillar number 1 is range. Brands need to see that you can do more than one type of video. If every piece in your portfolio looks the same, that is a problem. I'm not sure if you could hear my, like if I share my screen and show you my portfolio, if you can hear the videos that I show you. I wanted to show you that. So I wanted to show you the different pieces of content that I have. But let's just talk about it. I can share my portfolio in the email or the Slack channel too. But so brands need to see that you can do more than one type of video. That can be a talking to camera testimonial, a product demo, a unboxing with a voiceover. They need to see different styles. If you're just doing the same type of video, that's okay, but they're always going to ask for a variety. Brands don't want to just be posting the same thing or running the same thing as an ad. They need to test different angles, and that's why you need to have different styles of content. So you want to aim for 4 to 6 different formats in your portfolio. And that can be testimonial videos, day in the life, unboxings, product demos, problem solution, get ready with me's where you're integrating the product naturally into your routine, a voiceover only video. You want to mix it up, because when a brand looks at your portfolio and they're asking themselves, can this person make the kind of video that I need? You want your portfolio to answer yes. You want that to do all the talking for you. So action step number 1 for this week is to plan at least 3 different format types, not 3 of the same thing in different colors, if that makes sense. So say I'm filming for my phone case, and I'm not just going to do 3 videos of me just talking to the camera about my phone case. I'm going to do one unboxing of the phone case, maybe just ASMR style, no voiceover, no talking. I'll do this was my phone case before, this is it now, this is why I love this one. And then I'll talk directly to the camera about my phone case. So those are 3 different styles about one product. And then you'll rinse and repeat for a different product, for this pen or for my sunglasses. Does that make sense? You'll just do the same thing for different products, and that's how you get more content into your portfolio. So, okay. So that is the action step that I want you to do this week. 3 different types of content, 3 different formats. So pick 3 products, 3 formats for those products. Okay. Pillar number 2 is your hooks. And this is the one thing that brands care more about than literally anything else, is the hook, the first 2 seconds of your video. Why? Because if your video doesn't stop the scroll, the rest of the video does not matter. If your video is 30 seconds and the first 2 seconds are weak, you can just kiss the rest of the 28 seconds goodbye. So brands know this. They know this. They know that they're not paying for your pretty content. They're paying for your hookability. They're paying for the structure of the video. They want it to sell their product. They want it to make money for them. It's an investment for the brands. They're paying you in the hopes that your video can convert sales for the brand. And that's the cycle of how it works. So think about that when you're creating a video. Like, can this video sell this product for this brand? And it's all testing. They run they run your videos as ads, or they put them on social media, and they're looking at the analytics to see how they're performing. I'm speaking so fast, I need to slow down. So in your portfolio, I want to see different hook styles. Like, show a range there too. So make sure you're implementing that into your videos as well. So that could look like, this $12 product replaced my $80 serum. Or did anyone else not know about this? Or watch what happens when I blank, insert whatever you're doing. Or a POV hook can be POV You just discovered the blank. Or wait till you see this. Hooks can range from so many things. There's text on screen hooks. There's visual hooks, like movement into the frame when you're talking. But add some of those hook styles. Pick 3 of them and add those into your videos for your portfolio. Okay, moving on to pillar 3. Let me see if you guys are typing in the chat. Chat seems to be working on YouTube. Oh, the YouTube chat is working on this end. Working for me. Okay, you guys, I can't see. The chat is working on your end. I can't see any of what you're saying in this chat on here. So if you are saying anything, please put it into the questions on Slack. Putting it in there now. Any questions in here because I can't see the chat. Okay. So I will have to figure that out. I don't know why. I also don't want to mess anything up. Okay, so pillar number 3 is niche. And this is where most of y'all are losing the brands. You might not even know it. If a brand lands in your portfolio and they can't tell within 5 seconds who you are and who you create for, they might click away. And a confused brand never books, period. So you want your portfolio to reflect that. Like, you don't want to look like you're all over the place. Let me clarify something, though, because I know what some of you are thinking. The niche does not mean limit. Niche means positioning. You can absolutely still film outside your niche, but your portfolio needs an anchor. Like, what's the first thing that a brand learns about you when they see your work? If you just say beauty creator, that doesn't really tell me anything. But if you say skincare for sensitive skin in your 30s, that's more specific. But if you do decide to be a creator that doesn't niche down, I was more niche down in the beginning, but I'm not really niche down anymore. But make sure to label your videos in your portfolio. Like, here, I'll show you. Let me see if I can show you mine again. Let me pull it back up. My point is that I want you to label your videos by category. So I'll show you here. What I mean by that is mine is not niche down, but I do have health and like these are all health and fitness examples here. This is all food and beverage examples here. And above and below each one, I have like the type of video that it is. Like, this is a product demo on voiceover. This is a testimonial voiceover. So if they're looking for like a B-roll in a voiceover video, I have that here. If they're looking for talking to camera and product demo video, I have that here. This one's fashion, nutrition and supplements, skincare. So you want to make sure that you're separating your categories because it can get really wonky and get all over the place. So you want to make sure that it's like organized and structured. So let's see, stop sharing. Okay. So going back here, I want to see if you guys have any questions. Okay, I do see your questions in the Slack chat. I will get back to these questions at the end. Okay. Let's power through this. So I just went over that. The 4th pillar is a conversion. And this is one that almost no one is teaching. I need you to really hear me on this one right now. Brands are not paying for you to make pretty content. I know I touched on this briefly. They're paying you to drive action, sales, clicks, signups, and conversions. So somewhere in your portfolio, at least 1 or 2 pieces, you need to prove that you can do that. A clear call to action can be like, you need to hear this, run, don't walk, link in bio, like sales style content. Because the brand looks at that piece and goes, oh, this person gets it. They can actually sell. Let's book you, you know? If you skip this pillar, you're always going to be the cheapest creator in the room because brands assume that you can only do brand awareness, which is the lowest paying type of content. So you get pitched for the high paying conversion campaigns, the ones that actually pay real money. So an action step for you this week is to film at least one sales style piece with a strong call to action, just one. That's all that you need to prove it. And then if you want to add more, that's fine, but just start to focus on the one, okay? So let's do a little recap on the 4 pillars I just went over. The range, that's multiple formats. The hooks, multiple openers. The niche is clear positioning. And then the conversion is proof that you can sell. So if you hit all 4 in your portfolio, you're pitchable. Brands are going to start to fight over you. And that's a good thing. That is a good thing. So you have the portfolio, you have the 4 pillars, you know what to film. But before you hit record, I want to give you the production basics, the things that separate creators who book from creators who get ghosted. So these are the things that brands notice. And honestly, 90% of new creators are missing them. So run through these every time before you shoot a video. Like every single time, these should start to become the basics, and you want to make sure that you keep these things in the back of your mind or just like write them down on paper until it becomes something that live in the back of your mind. So before you film, clean your camera lens. Like I'm dead serious. Clean it. What I do every single time is like, I will literally just take, like I will do this and I will clean it on the back, on the front, make sure it's clean. Because if there's smudges, you'll be able to see it. And then your footage is just, it's garbage. You'll have to redo it. Wipe it with your shirt. Blur your lens is the #1 amateur giveaway. Do not do that. The second one is you want to leave headroom. When you're filming a video like this, and this is the aspect ratio of 9:16, that is what most most brands will ask for. That's the format of a TikTok video, a YouTube short, an Instagram reel. So when you're filming, you want to make sure that you're having enough space above your head and like on this area of your chest for any text on screen or captions. You always want to leave a little bit of space so it doesn't feel claustrophobic. You also want to clear your background. Look behind you, make sure there's no laundry, make sure there's no random clutter. Do a clean wall, a clean shelf, maybe a plant like I did. That's what I did. That's it, right? Make sure that it's clutter free. And then also while you're filming, you don't want there to be any dead space. I mean, this is really more when you're editing for the dead space. If you're talking to the camera or doing a voiceover, every second has to move. So this is more for editing, but don't oversell the product because that will start to feel like the goal for ads is to not feel like ads. I know that sounds crazy, right? Like, oh, of course I'm making an ad. Like, why can't it sound like an ad? But in the age of AI and everything, people want to hear from real people more than ever. So you want the ad to not sound like an ad, if that makes sense. Brands don't want infomercials. They want authentic recommendations. So if your delivery sounds like a 1 a.m. TV ad, they're going to pass. I've had to redo some stuff because they're like, this sounds too scripted. Because you're going to be reading off scripts and a teleprompter. But the goal is to make the script not sound like you're reading from a script. Does that make sense? So talk about it the way that you would talk about it to your best friend at brunch. That is the goal. Like you're FaceTiming your bestie. So when you're editing, you want to make sure that captions are on every video and text on screen unless a brand specifies otherwise, because 85% of social videos are watched on mute. So text on screen for your hook. Your first 2 seconds need to be visual and audio. Type out the hook on the screen in big, bold, easy to read text on screen. If I'm like filming when this is on the screen and I put white text over it, you're not gonna be able to see it. So just use your viewer discretion, right? And be like, okay, maybe I should put black text over here or vice versa. You also want to stay in the safe zone. When you're filming, there are safe zones that once you put the video into TikTok or Instagram, you can't see it. So that is something to keep in mind. Keep your text in the middle 60% of the screen. That's also why when you're filming, I want you to have space up here and down here. Like there's enough room for any error or for any text that you want to put anywhere so you can see it. The corners get covered by TikTok and Reels, just systems. So like the username, the captions button, the follow button. So you want to keep that in mind when you're filming. If your text gets covered, it just might as well not exist. So let me see. Okay, perfect. You guys. Okay, great. Okay, I can see your questions in the Slack. Perfect. Keep dropping them in there and I will touch on them in a little bit. Thank you so much for putting them in there. I really do appreciate that. So save that list that I just went through. Run through it every shoot before you film anything. So let's talk about what you're going to be doing this week. So your homework before day 4, which is Thursday's call at 7 Eastern, is to pick your primary niche. This doesn't have to be where you sit for your entire UGC career. Just pick something just to get your feet wet. The second one is to plan your 4 portfolio pieces using the 4 pillars that I went over. The third one is to film at least 2 of them. And when you're doing this, you don't have to go buy new products. You can literally just use what you have. Or if you've done past brand deals, like gifting, paid collabs or anything, I don't know where you guys are all at in your journey, but whatever you have, just use what you have and film it. It doesn't have to be an actual collab. It can just be like, I could film for this phone case and I don't have to be working with them right now. For 4, the 4th thing is open tomorrow's email. It walks you through the filming setup in more detail than I just went over. So I will also be putting this stuff in the Slack chat because it does seem like you guys are pretty active there. Also, a question, are you guys opening the emails that I send? I know sometimes they go to promotions. So let me know in the questions chat if you are able to see those, because I have those set up through our website to go out to our subscribers. The 5th one is to show up on Thursday. We're learning how to pitch and you need portfolio pieces ready to send. So make sure that you show up to that. That's going to be really important. One more thing I want to do before the Q&A is talk about day 12. That's going to be okay, yes, I am getting the emails good. That's going to be the graduation call. It's going to be 90 minutes. So I'm going to need you guys to hang out with me for 90 minutes. I know it might be a little painful, but it's going to be full of a lot of really good information. I'm going to share something at the end of that call that I think a lot of you are going to want to hear. So you're going to want to stick around for that. Let's see here in my notes. Okay. Please drop. We're at 4:48 right now. Oh, I'm in Pacific time, by the way. So it's 4 o'clock for me, 4:48. Drop any questions, any more questions or anything that you want me to answer in the chat right now, because I will be going over all of those. I'm going to look into those right now. Okay. All right. To answer your questions, let's see. Here's my question. Do you need a minimum follower account for Bento? And do you have a tailored UGC account? I'm wondering if I should start a new one or just turn my personal one into UGC. Okay, Ashley, we're going over your question right now. Do you have to have a minimum follower count for Bento? I don't believe you have to have a minimum one, just because there's so many brands you can reach out to. Like, you can join the platform on there. I do think they might have a free version. I pay for it personally, but I don't think you have to have a minimum follower count. I think you can just set up campaigns and reach out to brands through there, and then they just decide based on your social media if they want to collaborate with you, if that makes sense. Because Bento isn't just a UGC They also do like influencer partnerships on there. You can toggle on like if you want the outreach to be for UGC specifically or like influencer partnerships. It really is just like an email service through there where you can utilize the brand contacts that they have, and then you can set that all up. And do I have a tailored UGC account? I actually don't. So I started my, okay, she replied. Okay, that makes sense. Good. I started my social medias, feels like eons ago, for like health and fitness. And that's what I was posting on mainly. And that's still a big part of my life. But I started doing more lifestyles, like integrating more lifestyle stuff with wellness, fitness, travel, and UGC. And so I kind of just put all mine together. I didn't really know how it was going to work, to be honest, but I did it and brands love it. So I want to ask you though, like if you have put a lot of work into your account right now, I would recommend not starting over. But if you're not really super tied to it, starting over I don't think would hurt. So that's how I would answer that question. But I don't think it's entirely necessary. If you were just posting about like your niches that you already love, I think that's fine. It's just your personal account right now. Okay, I mean, so if you're at a place where you're okay with starting a new one, go for it. But if you put a lot of work into the one that you have, I wouldn't start over, if that makes sense. Okay, moving on to Daniela. For format types, does that mean we need at least 6 videos done? I would say yes. Like, I don't think 3 videos in your portfolio is enough, if I'm being honest. I have like so many. I also don't think that more is better. I think that you want to have enough quality. So I would start with 6. Yes. Nanny's question, will we be going over the business side of UGC? Would love to get a better understanding about taxes, contracts, payments. So I will be going over that. As far as taxes go, I can't really like talk about that entirely because I'm not like a professional, but I will say that I personally have an LLC and I run all my stuff through there, and I have a CPA that does my tax at the end of the year. So that's how I do that. But you don't have to set up an LLC to start off, but I would say like once you start making consistent income, then I would think about getting one. How do you know if a brand email that reaches out to you is real and legit and not a scam? Cynthia, okay. So I have been scammed. I have been scammed before by brands. I have. It will, unfortunately, it will well, I don't want to say it will happen, but brands will reach out to you and they will be fake. A big thing is to see like if it's coming from a Gmail account. Like it's okay if creators have Gmail accounts, but if a brand is contacting you from a Gmail account, that's kind of sketchy. So I would first see who it's coming from. And also if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. So those are the things that I genuinely would look out for. Okay, moving on to, let's see. Also, what if we don't have that many videos to start in order to categorize them if you're a very much beginner? That's fine. You don't have to have a ton of videos to start out. Your portfolio is always going to be something that you're going to be building upon. So that's fine if you don't have that many to categorize. Just make sure that you have different styles of videos that you do have in your portfolio. Does that make sense? Let me know if I'm answering your questions, and if that's helpful. Ooh. Okay, I'm just reading these. Okay, Sarah, 2 questions. Is the paid version for pitching on Bento worth it? Sarah, yes. Let me actually pull up like the free version. I think you're able to send, I don't even know how many you're able to send, but I personally think that it's worth it because you're able to send like an unlimited amount of emails. And I would say like for every like 30 to like 30 pitches I send, I get like one to say yes. So if you're doing the free version and you're only sending like 50, don't quote me, I don't know what the free version is entirely, but if you're only sending 50, like you'd have a way better chance of getting hired if you have the paid version. But you also could do pitching just on your own and going out and finding the contacts, but Bento is so nice because it has them all in there. But could you provide more examples of the sales types of video we should have in the portfolio? Yeah, I can do that. I will drop some more stuff in the Slack chat for you guys, like some more video examples. Because I have to find the specific ones that I'm referring to, but I will find some and I will drop them in there. Sarah, I have the free version. I think it's 20 pitches. Yeah, 20 pitches. I mean, it's a good way to like get yourself started with Bento, but 20 pitches, it's not really going to be make or break it. So I would recommend getting the paid version of Bento. Okay, Allie, can you send a recap of the types of videos we should record in a written email? Yeah, I will do a recap. I will send more information for you guys in the Slack chat and also in emails, so you have it all. I have brands that reach out and say they love my content, send a release for me to give them my content. And then when I counter with a paid collab, they say they want to test my content before paying it. Yeah, that's a tough one. I would, if it's something that you're open to, you can say yes, but I feel like that's a way for brands to take advantage of you. So I would, if they're going to be using your content, I think they need to pay for it. Can I provide some dog niche contacts? I can look through Bento and I can see what they have in there. I personally haven't worked with any dog brands because I don't have a dog currently, but I can see if I can find some. Let's see. What about brands that want you to purchase product beforehand and then they pay? I have had brands say this. If they're going to reimburse you for it, I think that's okay. But usually like that happens less than you would think. But they should always reimburse you. I have had to pay for the product and the brand has paid me for it. So that's also normal. But completely agree. It feels predatory. Yeah, Allie, I agree. Will there be a link where we can watch this back? I'm currently working. Yes, Emmy, I will be dropping the link. I will be dropping the link into the Slack chat. I will. Yes, I will. And Daniela, will I be going over editing? Yeah, I can actually, I do have a video on YouTube I can put in this chat about how I use CapCut Mobile to edit. So I will do that. And also when I send you an email, I will add more information as far as editing goes, but I can do like a quick, I can go over some editing really, really quick before the call ends. I think we will go over time, but that's totally fine. As far as editing goes, usually the videos that brands want is to keep it within a time frame of like 30 to 45 seconds or like 20 to 45. That's like a general range. And when you're editing, whether that's talking to camera content or voiceover content or whatever it is, you want to make sure that it's quick and snappy and that you're getting the point across. You don't want there to be any dead space. You don't want anyone to just be like sitting there watching your video and just seeing moments of just nothing happening or no talking happening. Like that's really awkward. But as far as editing goes, I can drop some more information for you guys and go over that more. I personally use CapCut Mobile, and I use the CapCut on my desktop too, but CapCut Mobile, I mean, my CapCut storage on my phone is about 800 gigabytes full. So yeah, I use CapCut all the time. I love CapCut. but I have a video about CapCut, and I could drop that for you in the chat as well. One other question: do you suggest getting on the apps, and if so, which ones to start? Apps are great to start off with. I do think that they can be very competitive, and I also think that sometimes they can lowball you, but I do think it's a really good place to start and start to land jobs. I think Coley is a really good one. Upwork and Fiverr are also really good, but you have to build out your profile on there, so that the brand knows like who you are, a little bit about yourself, and include your portfolio in there. But I personally think the best way to reach out or to land paid collabs is through cold pitching and inbounds. If you're utilizing social media, I think that inbounds is a great way, because by you posting on social media, that gives you free exposure to, if you're a public account, free exposure, right? And brands can find you, and then if your email is linked in your bio, they will reach out to you. And that happens to me a lot. I like weekly, I have people coming into my email and I don't even have to pitch to them. So that is what I would recommend for that. Okay, I hope I answered all of your questions. Please let me know if there's anything else that you do want to ask for this call. We are at the hour right now. I will be putting some more information, like I said, in the emails, in the Slack chat. You guys wanted me to, I'll send, let's see, portfolio. I can send my portfolio for you to look at. Also, editing, video. I can send the outline of this call. Did you see that Allie is typing? Okay. I am so, like, I didn't honestly know how this call was going to go. I was really, really nervous, but I'm so happy that you guys showed up today. I'm also very proud of you for showing up today and sitting through this call with me. This call will be saved. I will share it to the Slack. And if you are on this call and you aren't in the Slack channel, please send me an email at hello@itssocialg.com so that we can get you into the Slack channel. Let's see. I see Allie said something. Not a question, but I appreciate that this call felt so useful. I've been on other calls where there were 2 minutes of value and the rest was a sales pitch. Oh no, Allie. I appreciate you saying that. Like I said, I was really nervous for this call and I wanted it to be something very beneficial for you guys. I know I'm like a UGC coach and I like talk about UGC and all the things, but I also want to come off as a person who shares the UGC information in a realistic way. Like, I don't want to be an unrealistic mentor for you, because I want you to be successful in the space if this is something that you're going to be spending your time and energy on. Because I know that I've learned from some people and haven't gotten the most value out of it myself. So that is what I want to be for you here. I'm so excited that you guys are here. This is great. Oh, we had so much fun. Okay, yay. Okay, so I will be sending more emails, dropping some stuff in the Slack chat. I will see you guys Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be going over pitching, and that's going to be a really important call, so make sure that you're there. I think we might just stick to utilizing the Slack chat for questions, because this worked great, and I can respond to you guys there. Okay, so what I want you to do is film some videos this week, and I will send you some filming tips. I'll send you my editing video on YouTube so you can utilize that. And yeah, I will see you guys on Thursday. And I think that is everything I wanted to go over. I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you then. Thank you guys for joining. Bye.